Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ege, and this is In Between Books. So, guys, today we're going to be doing a bookshelf tour because I kind of realized that since the 4 years, throughout the 4 years I've been here on BookTube, I've only done a bookshelf tour once. And yeah, in 4 years since that time, my shelf has undergone a lot of changes. So I just thought, why not update you guys on the happenings on my bookshelf. So anyway, let's just quickly get into it. First of all, I'm just going to have a brief overview of what my shelves look like, and just okay, so that is the full shelf, and now we just start from the top. So okay, so on top I just have random shit. So basically the Hattie shop is they sell bookish items and stationaries and things like that, and I recently got some things from them and I did not have where to keep the bag, so I just put it up. Then the yellow box is a book box. I got some free books and some other bookish merch in them recently, so I just have that there because I like the box and I didn't want to throw it away. Then just have Shrek. That bag is like a bag. I did not have where to keep it, so it's just on my shelf. And then the other, that's just a picture of my family. The other box is, that's another Hattie's bag. I love the Hattie shop. It's a really good shop. If you're in Nigeria, they have a shop. Their shop is on Instagram. I'll leave a link to the shop in the description. Then another Hattie's bag and some fake plants. Let's get into what we're really here for. Okay, so on the first shelf we have these are my graphic novels, some young adults, and then romance. So we have Heartstopper. This is a book by a graphic novel by a Nigerian author, Elnathan John, and the name is Alnajayi Kradas. So can you believe that since I bought this, it has almost been 5 years? Okay, not 5 years, maybe 3 years, and I still haven't read it. I don't know when I'll read it, but I have it. Okay. And then we have some YA, and then we have my romance. These are my romance. These are all the romance books I have. Honestly, love Honey and Spice, love 7 Days in June. Flatshare is one of the first romance books I read in recent times, and I loved it. You always know that Talia Hibbert has my heart, and the Brown Sisters are my faves. And I haven't actually read this collection. I just have almost all the books. I think I'm missing the last book in the series. Then I'll have the complete collection, but I haven't read them. I just have them. Hating Game is a fave, even though I don't think I can reread it again. I feel like if I reread the Hating Game, I might not like it as much as I did the first time, but still a fave. Anyway, then we have Jake from Adventure Time, just keeping the shelf company. And this was made by my friend Awile from uni, and honestly, I know she doesn't watch this channel, but if you ever come across Awile, thank you so much. I still have Jake, and obviously I love him. Then on the next shelf, should we do this shelf or go across? I feel like we should go across. Okay, so anyways, so the next shelf after that we have my African books, mostly Nigerian books, but my African, this is my African literature shelf, although we have some Caribbean literature here. So African/Caribbean literature, this shelf and this one is African/Caribbean literature. So from this end, we have Girl with the Loud New Voice. I still haven't read that book. People Person, which I have actually read and enjoyed. We Were Once Birds, a really good book. I haven't read Deliver with Destiny, but I love this cover so much. This is why it's displayed. The First Woman is a fave. Everybody needs to read The First Woman by Jennifer Makumbi. This is another fave. God's Children and Little Broken Things. It's a short story collection. If you haven't read God's Children and Little Broken Things, guys, you're missing out. It's a criminally underrated collection, but very good. I haven't read Dazzling. Butter Honey Pig Bread is another fave of mine. Butter Honey Pig Bread is a book, go and read let me show you the cover. If you see this book anywhere and you haven't read it, this is your sign. Wow, this is your sign to read Butter Honey Pig Bread. It's a very lovely story. It's about twins, Taye and Kehinde, and like something happens to them when they were younger, and it kind of tears their family apart. And basically the book, it happens to them when they're younger. The book starts when they're older. They all come back to Nigeria for the holidays, or I can't remember what for, but they came back to Nigeria and they kind of like just deal with the whole situation. It's a book about sisterhood, it's about motherhood, it's about a lot of things, and this cover is stunning, by the way. I can't put this book back. Then we have Tomorrow I Become a Woman and We Were Once Girls. We Were Girls Once. This is a debut, and this is like a sequel. They are books in a series of sorts. Anyway, love this one. I've read and loved Tomorrow I Become a Woman. Haven't read the sequel, but probably soon. And then these books, oh, this particular book, I cannot wait to read this. I'm reading this in 2025. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read this book. I look forward to reading it. It's a book set in Cameroon. I've never read anything from Cameroon before, so I'm very excited. And it's a queer story about two girls, one is Christian, one is Muslim, and basically they meet and fall in love when they're younger, and then one of them goes missing. And so this book is basically from the perspective of the second one, who is looking for the one that went missing, basically. And it's like the book is in forms of letters. So the book, you can already see what this book promises, and I cannot wait for this book to break me. Then we have The Fisherman by Chigozie Obioma. Oh, this is one of the books that got me into African literature, so I will forever love this book. Love this. Obviously, I love this. They are by the same author. Stay with me and A Spell of Good Things. Very wonderful books. Then we have some other books that I frankly cannot go into, but yeah. And then this is Pleasant View. It is by Celeste Mohammed. It's a Caribbean book, and it's a short story collection, interconnected short story. Really good. Kololo Hill. This I got from the parlor of my house. I haven't broke it, but yeah, I just put it there as decoration. Then let's come back here. Oh no, let's finish with African literature. And I have this cup is from Bookbox, which is the yellow box I showed you up, and I got these bookmarks from the artist. Let me just show you. Lifetime member of Book Lovers Community. Then I have the Call Me Antisocial But Please Don't Call Me. Love that one. And I have Smutty Romance Book Club bookmark. Anyway, guys, bye. Like, if you are in Nigeria and you want to get cute bookmarks like this and many other bookish things, guys, go to the Hatties bookshop. The Hatties bookshop is the place to be. Anyway, okay, so we have Patsy and Here Comes the Sun by Nicole Dennis Ben, and read and loved both of them. They are both Caribbean book set in Jamaica. And Chintu by Jennifer Makumbi, read and loved, but I haven't read Jennifer's short story collection, which is Manchester Happen. I actually need to fix that soon. Jumi and the River School is a middle grade book set in boarding house in Nigeria. It's a really good collection. Honestly, if you have younger people in your life, or if you are the type that enjoys middle grade, I highly recommend. But I haven't read, like, I want to read Nervous Coordination so bad, but I've just not had the vibe, like the ginger to read it yet. But I can't wait, because I've heard so many good things about it, and I just know I'm going to have the time of my life. Then we have some more African books, and then we have, oh, An Ordinary Wonder is a coming of age story. It's about an intersex person, and I think this is the only book that features an intersex person that I have read. Obviously I need to do better and read more, but this was such a good story. It also takes place in boarding house, and yeah, it's a very good story. I highly recommend. So we have 2 Akwekes here and 3 more over here. This is my Akweke collection. Obviously I need to get all the new Akwekes that have come out, Little Rots and You Made a Fool of Death With Your Beauty. I don't have them. I don't know when I'll have money, but once I have money, I'm going to get them. Then Vagabonds by OrhueEghosasere. This is a short story collection. Highly recommend. It's very good, but honestly, I
I feel like Vagabonds is a book that you have to read for yourself and decide if you like it or not, but I loved it. I enjoyed the language used, I enjoyed the setting. Like, Lagos as a city is personified in this book, and I just enjoyed it in general. My fave, I need to bring out my fave, I'm sorry. The Death of Vivek Oji. If you've not read The Death of Vivek Oji, this is your sign. Go and read The Death of Vivek Oji. This is a book. This is the book. Anyway, so we have some middle grade here and some more African literature, and then in between them we have Luffy. Luffy is kind of dirty right now because of the dust from Harmattan period, so I'm hiding him. But my friend Awele also made Luffy for me, and I'm just hiding Luffy for now because I don't want the dust to be so bad on him. And then we have some magazines, and yeah, I've recently gotten into magazines. First of all, just look at this cover, guys. Like, let me take you back a bit so you can appreciate the glory that is this cover. Like, gorgeous. Anyway, I recently got into magazines, and this particular journal, is it magazines or journal? Anyway, this particular journal, I've been like, I read their works online, read some of their articles online, and I just love this particular issue or volume or whatever it's called, and I had to buy it. Anyway, let's continue. So we're coming over to this other part now. So this particular section are like my thrillers / books from Asian authors, like Asian literature and thrillers, kind of, and also just white authors in general. So okay, starting from this end, we have Frederick Bachman and Bonnie Gamos. These are just white authors. I do not have where to keep them, so they are here. And then Ace of Spades, say YA. I think this book is like a thriller. Ace of Spades is considered a thriller, Naba. Anyway, Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Nimye. Love this book. If you haven't read it, go and read. And then some more books about thrillers, and then Evelyn Hugo is obviously not a thriller, but I still haven't read this book, guys. I just have it. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I have Evelyn Hugo. You people should motivate me to read this book. So now we move to the Asian literature part of this shelf. So we have my Elif Shafak books, so Island of Missing Trees and The Three Daughters of Eve. Elif Shafak, I haven't read any books by this author yet, but I don't know, I see a lot of people who love her, and like I've read a lot of reviews about this author's work, and I'm just intrigued by her. So she's an author I have on my radar. I just haven't started reading her books yet. Recently read Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows, and oh my god, what a book. I truly love this one, and honestly, after this book, I'm reading everything this author writes. I still haven't read The Song of Achilles because I'm not ready for this book to destroy me. When I'm finally ready, I'll read it. But yeah, I just have this on my shelf. Panchiko, which I loved. Oh, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grows. Love this book. This is one of my favorite short story collections ever. Things We Do Not Tell the People We Love by Huma Qureshi. I think this author is a Pakistani. It's from Pakistan, and yeah, this is honestly, if you see this collection, buy it. You won't regret reading it. Another book I love by a Palestinian author. This is Against the Loveless World by Susan Abu Hawa. So more Asian books. The Mountain Sing, beautiful cover, beautiful book. Read it if you haven't read it. I've scattered my shelf, God in heaven. Then we have this book. Oh god, I love this book. I think this is one of the first books, like Korean books that takes place in South Korea, that I read, and it was historical fiction. I cried. This is such a book, especially as a K-drama lover. It's a book about henyos, which are like women divers on Jeju Island. It's heartbreaking but also beautiful. Like, it's just a really good book. Then more Asian literature that I haven't read but will one day. Okay, so the next shelf is just fantasies / sci-fi / books that I did not have where to put them. So the first shelf, we just have random books that frankly I do not have where to put them, so they're just there. just have A Little Life. I read this book, I cried, I wept, I finished the tears. Like, I don't know, this book is just something else. A Little Life was something else, but I'm glad I read it. I don't think I will ever read it again, but I'm glad I read it. It's by Stephen King. I actually started this book in 2019. I think I read it slowly over a year, like around the time that the second movie came out. That was when I was reading this book, but I never finished it. But I enjoyed it. But I don't know, I've just been seeing some problematic things about Stephen King, so at some point I lost interest in his work. But I used to be really into him at some point. Then we have some sci-fi. I believe they are sci-fi books. But yeah, I've only read The Upper World. I haven't read... Okay, this is not sci-fi, obviously. And I don't think The Left-Hand of God is sci-fi. I just have them. I don't know what... First of all, this is like a pencil, what do they call it? Where you keep like pens and things. I got it from the artist shop, but I'm using it to hold my bookmarks. And it's just very cute. But let's get her out of the way. So we just have fantasy. This is a fantasy book by a Nigerian indie author. Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. Binti series by Nnedi. Blood Scion. Love this book. This is one of the few books where... This is one of the books where, you know how in fantasy we have this female protagonist who's like, oh, she's this dangerous person that's going to burn the whole world down. She's an assassin, she's dangerous, she's this, she's that. And at the end of the day, she meets one boy, falls in love, and all the danger she's supposed to be dangerous. She's not dangerous again. This is one of the few books I've read that the way the protagonist, like, this book is like, the way it was described, like, this baby is going to burn the whole world down. Like, she's going to scatter everything. She's going to destroy everything. And she actually followed through and did exactly what she set out to do. So I was really happy with the way this first book ended. I honestly can't wait to read the second book. I think the second book is out. I don't think it's available in Nigeria, sadly. So I can't get it. But I love the cover, by the way. This other shelf is also fantasy. So let's get into it. Well, technically, these guys are supposed to be together like this because they're all in the Crucial series together. So I'll start with this. This is The Maid and the Crocodile by Jordan Ifeko. I got this book recently. It was gifted to me by the author, so I honestly can't wait to read it. Then we have the Grishaverse, books from the Grishaverse. We have Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, King of Scars, and Rule of Wolves. We have some more fantasy. Then Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is one of my favorite fantasy books ever. I've only read the first book in this series. I was waiting to get like the second and third book because all the books are out, but there is no money, there's no funds. Books are really expensive, and shipping from abroad to Nigeria is like ×2 the amount of it. Like if the book is 10,000, shipping will be like 20k, that kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying that's the exact price, I'm just giving you an example. Like, that's how expensive it is. So my dear, I'll just listen to the audiobook and move on with life. If I ever have the opportunity to own the other books in the series, we thank God. If not, I frankly cannot kill myself. This first shelf are just like my academic books, like books from school, books from uni. And then these are just spillover books that I honestly don't think I'll ever read, but I just have them. And then I just have them, and then this is just random knickknacks. I don't have where to drop them. And then we have this smaller shelf that I actually stole. Please, I'm so sorry for the lights. Let me see if I can make it better. I actually stole this shelf from my sister. I'm so sorry about the lighting. Like, we're directly in front of the window, so the light will be terrible. I hope this makes it better. I don't know if it makes it better, but yeah, anyway. So I stole this shelf from my sister because she recently moved out, so I just took it from her. Anyway, so these are just books that could not fit in the shelf, so it's mostly just my fantasy books. So we have my Jade City trilogy. The second book in this series is not here because it's on my TBR card, that's why it's not here. Then we have the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin that I have still not read. Miss Bond trilogy, the second book is missing because it's on my TBR cards.
Poppy War series trilogy. Then Some More Spillovers, Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, one of my favorite fantasy series ever, trilogies, fantasy series, whatever. Sure, one of my favorite series ever. Then The Priory of the Orange Tree. I don't know when I've tried like 2 times now to start this book and failed woefully. I don't know when I will read and finish this book, but I have it. And then this is like my non-fiction / classic shelf. So Sex Lives of African Women, 7 Necessary Sins for Women, We Wrote in Symbols, and then Ichabod. These are all non-fiction. Also Trevor Noah's Born in Crime, non-fiction. Then the rest are classics. So we have, so I have The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born, There Was a Country, The Joys of Motherhood, Skinfolk, Their Eyes Were Watching God, Picture of Dorian Gray, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sing by Maya Angelou. So those are like my non-fiction. And then these are fantasy. And then this shelf these are like books I read in secondary school. This one should be on my thriller shelf, but it's just here. So I read these books in secondary school. I don't think I have the power to reread this type of book ever again in my life because it's so big. Like, I don't know how I read this in secondary school. Okay, actually I was in university. I was in 100 levels, like 800 pages. Chances by Jackie Collins. Love this book so much. I was obsessed with Jackie Collins in like secondary school / 100 level of university. When I just started university, I was obsessed with Jackie Collins. And then this other one by The Sundowners by Leslie Loco. I think this author is a South African author. It takes place in South Africa, about some white women in South Africa or something like that. This book is actually really old. I remember I read this book, I took it to school and gave all my friends. So all my friends in secondary school read this book with me. Because that time in school you share your books with everybody now. I think this is one of the few surviving books that I still have from that period. And then so these books are books about the Edo history. So I am my ethnic group is Benin or Edo. I live in Edo State, and in Edo State there's an ethnic group or tribe called Benin, and I'm Benin, obviously. So this is just the books about Benin history and culture. I like my culture and I like reading about it. So these are some of the books. I actually stole them from my father. He has a lot of them, and these are the few I was able to liberate from his own bookshelf and put in my own. These are just random knickknacks like journals and notebooks and things. These are books I read in secondary school. I can't get into them because most of the covers are tattered, but all I'll say is that I was obsessed with Nora Roberts in school, and I loved historical romance. This particular author, I've read most of her historical romance books in secondary school. I have some more in the back. I don't know if you guys like, this is how bad it was. Like, Nora Roberts, I finished this book. Like, this is one of the few books I still have from secondary school. I honestly did all my books from secondary school. I can't show you guys because I was in boarding school, so my books will not be stolen. I had to write my name on all my books, and then they're all in pieces. And then I was also obsessed with Janet Ivanovic in secondary school, so I read like this Stephanie Plum series a lot. Okay guys, so that has been my bookshelf tour, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.